And so on this day, he's coming into Jerusalem, and they're going to prepare for the Passover. And the word has spread that Yahshua is coming into town. And we have good reason to believe he is the one we're waiting on. He's the Messiah. He's the Christ. He's the deliverer that was talked about by the prophets. And he begins to come into town, and people begin to respond as they see him coming the way that would be common in that culture if a great champion was coming into town. If a king was coming into town. They begin to spread their cloaks on the roadway, which, you know, we can try to figure out what all that means. It's just a sign of humility. It's a sign of taking off that thing that represents me and laying it before someone that I see as greater than myself. It's a sign of great hope that you're going to come and you're going to change even our appearance. And they take branches, and culturally we believe with good basis that it's probably palm branches. And they begin to wave them before him. They begin to lay them on the road before him, and they begin to wave them. The only thing I can do to explain to you what was happening here is that would be the cultural equivalent of burning couches in Morgantown. Someone sent me a text last night at the end of the ball game. We all had our little parties going to different places, and before the game was over and it looked like we were going to hold on, someone sent me a text and said, "Got an old couch?" And I text back and said, "Got gas?" Funny thing is, we moved the Boyntons yesterday, and there was this big sectional couch there that he said, "We're not moving that, we're throwing that out." And I thought, man, we need to go get that tonight and take it out into the church parking lot and torch this bad boy. Yeah. And I'm thinking, no, we got 2 more games. But Jim needs to hold on to that couch. We need to put that in storage somewhere, because I feel like we're going to need it. It's the same thing. Why do they burn couches in Morgantown when West Virginia wins big games? I have no idea. It's just something in us. This joy, this jubilation, this excitement, it's got to come out. And I'll still never understand why when teams win championships, why they sack the city. I mean, your city has just won a championship. How do we respond? Let's go burn the city. I don't know why we think like this, but we do. The bottom line is we have to respond. Whether it just be applause, whether it be shouts of joy, when we believe that someone who's bigger than us and yet part of us and we're part of them, they represent us, we're in this thing together, has done something incredibly great, and we understand that we will inherit the trickle-down effect of his greatness, we respond. And that's what they were doing. They were responding. And they began to cry something that you don't find in any other stories in the Bible. Hosanna. Hosanna. Hosanna in the highest. Hosanna. Hosanna. And the writers of the Bible, they remember that so well. Many years after this story transpired, they're remembering it, and they're remembering this scene. They're pulling their memories together and going, man, I remember that scene. It was incredible. The crowds waving those palm branches and laying their cloaks before him as he rode that untamed donkey into the city. And they were crying, Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna. And the word, of course, in that culture meant something, just like all their words meant something. And it meant, come and save us. Or, he saves. It was a word that revolved around salvation.